Amy here with A Crafty Home, and today, as you can see, I am in a different location. I am sitting on my couch because I have my hair up in like a messy bun thing just pulled up, and because I was getting hot, and so I put that up, and I couldn't sit in my recliner because then my head's forward and it's very uncomfortable. So that also means that once I'm done filming videos, my hair's going to come down and just go crazy. So anyway, today I am doing the coffee book tag. This tag was created by somebody, and I will link that video down below. And Amy from Amy C Books is the one who tagged me. Thank you, Amy. And yeah, so let's get started. This is one I'd wanted to do anyway, so I was glad that she tagged me. Before we get started though, I really liked how, is it Patty from I Smell Books? I think that's her name. I know her channel is I Smell Books, and I think her name's Patty. Anyway, she's super sweet, and she like did a tour of her coffee, and I was like, well, I don't have any like fancy coffee makers or anything. We actually use French presses just because that's what we have right now because our drip coffee maker broke, and my husband prefers French press coffee anyway. I don't, but I got used to it a little bit. So anyway, I thought I'd show you some of my favorite mugs. So this mug is, it says, "She who must be obeyed." And this one my husband bought for me when our third son was in the hospital. After he was born, we couldn't keep him warm enough, and they ran some blood work, and his white blood cell count was up, and they had to do a spinal tap on him to make sure that it wasn't meningitis or something more serious. Thankfully, it was most likely just because I had a group B strep. He probably caught that on the way out because he came really fast, but they don't know for sure. But anyway, just to be safe, they put him on, sorry, this shirt drives me nuts. They put him on antibiotics for a week, so we had to stay there for a week, and I was discharged, but I had to stay with him, and he also had to be under lights and stuff, so it was a really hard time. And my husband went and got this mug for me, and the nurses were like, yeah, that's right, she has to be obeyed, especially when it comes to the babies. So anyway, I like this mug. It's very special and sentimental. And then shortly after that, my aunt got me a mug that like matches it almost. And this one says Queen Bee on it, and it has bees. And I love, I loved it. And see, I mean, they kind of match. They've got the same reddish, you know, same colors on them. So, but I don't, yeah, they are by the same person, so that's why. But anyway, I really just love this one. I think she gave it to me for Christmas, or maybe after the baby was born when we got home. I can't remember, but I love it. And then this mug, next one I'm going to show you is actually a hand-thrown mug, and it was spun on a potting wheel by somebody I met and then made all pretty. She is a knitter, and I went on a sock knitting cruise when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 6, and bad idea, don't go on a cruise while you're pregnant, because especially if it's a stormy cruise, and it was. We went to Alaska, and the boat was just going crazy, and for like a month afterwards I still felt like I was on the ship, and the doctor, my OB, said it was because of all the extra fluid you have in your body when you're pregnant. It was horrid, so bad. But the cruise was a sock knitting cruise, and if you didn't know, I'm a knitter, and so one of the ladies it was also over my birthday, which was cool, and one of the ladies at our table makes these, and she still does make mugs. I don't know if she makes this one anymore. Later, I asked her to make one for my husband for Father's Day, and we still have that, except I couldn't find it right now. The handle broke a little bit on it, but she custom made it. It's bigger than this one, and it had sheep and yarn like this one does. I'll show you in a second. And then I had her put a computer on the other side, and it's so cool because he does computers, so it was perfect. Anyway, this is the mug, and so it has sheep on it, and then the red yarn. She did different colors, but I really liked the red, and then another sheep on that side. So this is actually like my favorite mug, and my husband kept drinking out of it when I brought it home, and I was like, no, this is my mug. So that's why I ended up getting one for Father's Day, the Father's Day after that. That cruise was so much fun, other than the getting sick part. There are all my mugs, which took way longer than I expected, but oh well. So let's get started on the actual questions of this tag. First is, and they're all kind of like different drinks. So first is black, which is actually how my husband likes his coffee. Gross, but he likes it that way. Name a series that's tough to get through but has hardcore fans. This one was really hard for me. I kind of thought about Mistborn because it does have hardcore fans, but it's not that hard to get into. For me, it took a minute to get into it. I mean, like, not once I started reading, but it took a little bit to convince me that I wanted to read it, if that makes sense. Because I was intimidated by fantasy. But I'm using one that I've started the first book, but I haven't actually read the whole thing. And it also, some people say that it was actually meant to be a whole book, so it's not really a series, but it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm going to call it a trilogy because that's just what I'm going to do. So, like, even on here it says part 1, part 2, part 3, but I have these lovely editions, and, like, I know so many people that are, it seems like if you read this, you're, like, a hardcore fan, but I could see how it is very hard to get into because it's just, it's, you know, classic fantasy, so that's, anyway, so that's, my husband got these for a birthday for me quite a while ago. This is the Return of the King, which I'm not showing you these in order, but, and then the Two Towers. These are just beautiful editions there. The publisher says, oh, it says Tolkien over there, but the publisher is HarperCollins. These are gorgeous. I have The Hobbit in the same cover. So, number 2, Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or a festive time of year. I'm not sure. I love Peppermint Mocha, by the way, especially during the winter. I also love peppermint hot chocolate. So good. So I don't know that, well, they do get popular, I suppose, among certain people. I mean, not like on BookTube. I think I'm the only other person I've ever heard talk about them, but they are the Karen Kingsbury novellas. There's Gideon's Gift, Maggie's Miracle, Hannah's Hope, and Sarah's Song. They're kind of, spread them out a little so you can kind of see them. It's the Red Glove series, and they are sweet Christmas stories. I read them every year. I absolutely love them. And so, yeah, I thought they fit for that one. Question number 3, hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? And for me, that is definitely Matilda by Roald Dahl. I love that book. I unfortunately do not own a copy of it, but I just love the story of Matilda, and that is by far my favorite children's book. If I had owned a copy, I am sure it would be ratted, but I think I only ever read it from the library, so there's that. Number 4 is Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat, start to finish. Well, oh yes, well, let's see, name a book. Okay, so I only have to name one book. It is going to be The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. My copy's not in as good of condition as it used to be because my husband read it, but anyway, yes, this kept me on the edge of my seat. The whole trilogy has kept me on the edge of my seat from beginning to end, although I'm not finished yet. That's the last one. So yes, Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. 5, Starbucks, which we only have a Starbucks in our Safeway, but I do live in the land of Starbucks. I've been to the very first Starbucks store, the store that was the very first Starbucks in Seattle. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so yeah. Anyway, name a book you see everywhere. Alright, here, it's confession time, don't hate me, but alright, so I name a book that I see everywhere when I like read or watch BookTube. It's Harry Potter. I see it everywhere. I'm so tired of it. I know I'm the only person probably in the whole entire world who is tired of it, but I have never read Harry Potter. I never plan to read Harry Potter. Number 6, That Hipster Coffee Shop. I love, well, I don't know that I call them hipster, but I love like independently owned coffee shops. Love those. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. So I was trying to think of one I've actually read, and there's only been a couple like Christian ones that have come across my email, I guess you would say, for review, and the couple that I decided to get were both horrible. One of them, the author has since apologized and said that I must have got a copy that was not supposed to go out because it apparently was not edited correctly, but the story itself was still just dragged and dragged. And anyway, I don't know if I'm harsher on self-published authors or if I just have gotten a bad break. I'm pretty sure I've just probably gotten a bad break, but now I'm like afraid to review for self-published authors because every time I have, it's been horrible. But that being said, I do happen to know somebody who is going to be self-published soon, and that is Jeffrey from Tequila. And I will try to link remember to link his channel down below. He is writing a book right now. Well, I think he's actually finished with the writing and they're working on the last little bits of it. And it is called Progeny of Gods. And yeah, I'll give him a shout out. So go follow him so you can keep up with when that book is going to come out, because I am excited for it. Number 7. Oops, I accidentally got decaf. That had better never happen. Name a book that you were expecting more from. For me, that is going to be Divergent and the whole trilogy. I actually, and it's not because of what happens in Allegiant, I actually liked that. I know, I'm weird, but I actually thought that it was well done, kind of. But Divergent's been so hyped that I was expecting a lot more from it. I did enjoy it, but it just wasn't all that I was hoping it would be. So yeah, I still rated it 4 stars. So don't get me wrong, I do like it. I really liked it. It just didn't meet my expectations, which is what the question said. I only own Divergent. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy the rest of them or not. I haven't decided that yet because I'm not sure if I will reread them. But anyway, yes. Number 8, The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. For me, I'm just going with a book because the series as a whole I really enjoy. But for me, that's going to be The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, book 2 in the Mistborn trilogy. This book had its bitter parts because it talks a lot about politics, and so there are a few parts where it may drag a bit. It didn't drag a ton though, because I was just so happy to be back in this world, and then there were just so many sweet parts, and at the end, it was so good. It was just like the perfect blend, I think, of needing to get the political stuff talked about, and there are a lot of people who really enjoy that, so that was in there. And then it also had great other parts, you know, great adventure and battles and such. So yes, The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. So now comes the issue of who to tag. Most people that I could think of have done this tag. This has been going around, very popular. So I am going to take a hint from Lindsay Ray, who did this in a tag the other day, and she just tagged everybody that channel's name started with a certain letter. So I am going to do everybody whose channel name starts with the letter C. You have been tagged to do the coffee book tag. See, fitting that it starts with a C. And like if your name has a the at the beginning of it, like mine does, then you can go ahead and use the first word. So like I would use crafty, not the. Anyway, there's the rules. So if you do this video because of me tagging you in this way, then leave a comment down below. I'd love to go see it. And until next time, I'll chat with y'all later. Bye!